Hi everyone, welcome to SolvePages YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss SQL Server backup interview questions. The first question is, what are the types of backups available in the SQL Server? So on the regular basis we are using these three backups. One is full backup, differential backup, and the third one, log backup. So these are the regular backups, and we have some special backups as well. Copy only backup, split backup, and mirror backup, and tail log backup. And we have a file backup and file group backups as well. So you can mention all 9 backups. Okay, the second question, can we take a differential backup without taking a full backup? If yes, how? If no, why? What is the reason? So we cannot take a differential backup without taking a full backup. See, if I create a new database here, there is no current backup here. So if I take a differential backup on the newly created database, let's see which error it will be throwing here. See what it is saying. Cannot perform a differential backup for the database test because current database backup does not exist. So if you want to take a differential backup, at least one full backup must be happening in the database, because the full backup is a foundational backup for any database backup. So that is the reason we cannot take a differential backup without taking a full backup. And the third question, why we call full backup as a foundational backup? Because we cannot take any other database backups without taking a full backup. So that's why we can call this as a foundational backup. The fourth question, a difference between full backup and copy only backup. So the functionality of the full backup and copy only backup are both same, but the difference is, if any automatic backups are happening on the database or a server, if you take a full backup in the middle of it, it will break the LSN chain. For every log backup, there will be a LSN number. So if we take a full backup, it will break the LSN chain. So to avoid this, we can use the copy only backup. If we can take the copy only backup, it will take the backup of the database without breaking the LSN chain. That is the main difference. But the functionality is the same. And you have to make sure that if after taking the full backup, you can take a differential backup, but after taking the copy only backup, you cannot take a differential backup. That you have to keep in your mind. And the fifth question, what is log backup? It will take the backup of the data which is present in the log file. It won't take the backup of the data which is present in the data file. It only take the backup of the data which is present in log file. At the same time, it flushes the data from a log file to a data file. Two things will happen. And the sixth one, what is the extension of the log backup? Extension of log backup would be .trn. For all other backups, it should .bak. For only log backup and tail log backup, it should be .trn. And the seventh question, what is the difference between log backup and tail log backup? The functionality is same here. And log backup and tail log backup, it will take the backup of the data which is present in the log file. But the difference is, in the tail log backup, if you use the no recovery parameter, it put the database in restoring mode. And if you use the parameter continue after error, we can take the backup of the database even after the database corruption. That is a difference. And what is a cold backup? We have two types of backup types are there, like a hot backup and a cold backup. Hot backup means we can take the backup when the database is online. If you want to take a backup, if you want to take a cold backup, we have to put the database offline, or we have to detach the database. That means For example, if we take employee data database, for every database there is data file and log file. So saving this data file and log file somewhere is cold backup. If you want to save or copy or move this data file and log file, we want to put this database offline. Before that, we have to check where this data and log files are. For that, there is a query sp_help file. So this is the path. Data file I can see in D drive. Log file I can see in L drive. Let's see. See, these files will keep in safe place. So copy. If you want to store anywhere, we cannot move it because the database is online. So that's why we have to put this database offline. Then we can able to move the data file and log file. So this process we can call it as cold backup. Using this data file and log file, we can rebuild the database. So this is also a backup process. We call this as cold backup. For normal backup process, we can call this as hot backup. Taking a backup of data file and log file is called as cold backup. This is an offline process. The database should be in offline, or the database should be detached. Otherwise, a cold backup will not work. The ninth question: what is the use of mirror backup? So mirror backup will create a duplicate copies of the database backup. So we can create multiple duplicate copies and we can store them in different locations. So that if any disk is corrupted, we can make use of another duplicate copy of the database backup. So that is the use of mirror backup, taking a duplicate copies of database backup. And the 10th one: how many duplicate copies can we create in a mirror backup? As per the Microsoft article, I can say it is a 3 duplicate copies. Maximum of 3 duplicate copies we can create using a mirror backup. The 11th question: how many splits we can create in split backup? So before that, let me help you to understand what is a split backup. So using the split backup, we can split the single database backup into multiple parts, and we can able to store that in different disks. If you don't have enough free space in the disk, for example, we have a database backup that is up to 1 terabyte, and if you don't have 1 terabyte free space in the disk, what we can do is we can split the database backup into 2 parts, 500 GB and 500 GB, and we can store it in different disks. That is a split backup. And how many splits we can able to do it? The maximum of 64 splits. Mirror backup is 3. And the 12th one: what is a LSN? LSN is a log sequence number. For every log backup, there is an LSN number which will decides the uniqueness of the log backup. So whenever we are doing any point in time recovery, we need every log backup in a serial manner. So that's why we need LSN number for every log backup. What is the difference between full and differential backup? So full backup will take the backup of the whole data. It will take the backup of data file and the log file. If any NDF is there, it will take the NDF data as well. It will take the whole database backup. And with the differential backup, what a differential backup will do is it will check the recent full backup, and it will captures the data which has happened after the full backup. Whatever the data is changed after the full backup, only that data will be taken care by the differential backup. The 14th question: where the differential changes are stored in SQL Server. There are types of pages we have, like data page, index page, PFS page, and there are other types of pages are there. So in that there is a DCM page. DCM page means differential change mapping. So all these differential changes are stored in DCM page. So whatever the extents are modified after the full backup, those extents information will be stored by the DCM page. That is the differential change mapping. 15th question, can I take the log backup without taking a full backup? This is also not possible, as we discussed earlier. A full backup is a foundational backup. So after taking the full backup only, we can take a log backup. 16th question, what happened if I lost one of my log backups out of 20 log backups? So we have 20 log backups after the differential backups. If you want to do a point in time recovery, we need all the 20 log backups. For example, if we lost one of the log backup, which is the 14th one in the order, that means you can able to recover the data up to 13th log file. Whatever the log files are available after the 14th log file, all are not useful. Okay, that's it. So we need all the log files in a serial manner whenever we want to do a point in time recovery. 17th one, can I take the backup of the database even after the database corruption? If yes, which backup and how? As we discussed earlier, we can take the tail log backup even after the database corruption, but we have to use the keyword continue after error. Continue underscore after underscore error. If you can use this continue after underscore error, then we can able to take a backup of the database even after the corruption. The 18th one, can I compress the database backup? Yes, we can able to compress the database backup. Let me show how it is. If we go to the media options, sorry, not here, backup options, set backup compression. See, there is a compression option. Yes, we can able to compress the database backups. The 19th one, which service is helpful for taking the backups using the third-party tool? If you're using any third-party tools to take care of the backups, then there is a service which will be useful, that is volume shadow copy service. There is a VSS writer. So if you go to the services, here there is a volume shadow copy service called VSS writer, this one. So this will be useful whenever we're taking the backups using the any third-party tools like Commvault, Veeam, DDBoost, Cohesity, any other third-party tools that you're using. Make sure that this volume shadow copy service is running. And the 20th one, who can take the backups? We have server roles and database roles, right? So which privilege we need to take the backups? The first one is sysadmin. Sysadmin can do anything, and the DB owner. So DB owner also can take the backup of the database, and also a backup operator. If I ask what is the least privilege to take a backup, means that is a backup operator. And the 21, can we take the backup of the system databases? Yes, we can take the backup of the system databases, but only for master, model, MSDB. See, we have a backup option. For model also we have a backup option, and MSDB also we have a backup option. But at MDB we don't have a backup option because it stores the temporary objects. So that's why we cannot take a backup of temporary database. So these are some of the questions that are related to the backup. So make sure that you have to double check whenever you represent these answers in the interview. Make sure that we have to double check in any other Microsoft articles or any other Google. Thanks for watching.